In the world of Hollywood, movies get greenlit and redlit. They get remade and rebooted. But we are the Ideal. I'm Sam Gasch, and you are listening to Ideal Remake. Thank you for listening to Ideal Remake. We take movies that either have been, will be, or should be remade and talk about what the ideal version of that remake would be. And this episode is automatic. It's systematic. It's hydromatic. Why, it's Grease. Lightning. And my guest today, who I'm sure right now is really regretting dropping out of high school, is BRAD BEIDEMAN. So Brad, is
Hi.
Grease a movie that has been, will be, or should be remade?
It's arguable if you count Grease Live, which was on TV, and fine. I haven't watched it, but I've heard it's fine. So it should at least be remade. Maybe it has been remade.
I mean, I feel like the style of that movie kind of spawned a whole birth of other movies.
Yes.
Like the whole, hey, it's a 50s era and we're doing a musical.
Yes.
Like...
The doo-wops and such.
Right.
Yes.
I worked at a dinner theater for a summer.
Mm-hmm.
And
that must have been good.
Had its moments.
Of course.
I mean, I got to spill milkshakes on people on accident, so that was...
That's fun.
Positives and negatives. But, like, they would be Oreos at the end of every show, and it'd just be like... 3-second scene into a song. 3-second scene into a song. And that's kind of what Grease is.
Yes, it really... It reminds me, once I saw the most disheartened musical number at a Johnny Rockets, because apparently they have to serve fast food and like every hour do a dance, and it was such a bummer.
Do they?
Yes, or at least they did.
At Johnny Rockets before.
You should stick around for longer, and you might see someone in a paper hat look the saddest he ever's looked. It's pretty cool.
So before we get too deep into this, tell me a little bit about yourself. Let the audience know who you are.
I'm BRAD BEIDEMAN. I like the movie Grease. What else? I'm a writer. I have done sketch things. I'm okay at drawing stuff in Photoshop.
Tell us a little bit about your podcast.
Oh, yes. So I have a podcast called Bargery Buffet, the Cruise Detective, that I do with my friend Rachel. It's like if Agatha Christie was stupid and on a cruise, and it takes so long to make because of all the sound effects. But for that reason, every episode is arguably perfect.
I agree with that. I enjoy the show. It's goofy and dumb, and who doesn't want that?
Exactly.
So that leads me to Grease.
Yes.
First of all, when was the first time you ever saw Grease?
I saw Grease before memory started. Grease was on a VHS tape in my home. Grease is based in nostalgia for the 50s or at least the 70s, because that's when it was made. And when I was a little boy in like 2002, I loved it. So I guess it can truly transcend decades, which is so cool. But we would watch it all the time, and my brother, who's younger than me, then became obsessed with it as well, to the point that he would make us rewind Grease Lightning so he could learn the dance, and then we had to hide the VHS tape from him so he could not watch it anymore.
Fair.
And then I grew up a little bit, and I watched it again, I was like, oh, this is very dirty in a weird way. It's a horny film, which is so cool.
That's fair. My recollection of Grease, because I know I saw it with, like, I can, theoretically I should be able to remember the first time I saw Grease, but I don't.
Sure.
But I do remember going to summer camp, and one of the camps I went to when I was a kid was called Summer Fine Arts, when we did, like, drawing and dance, and it was all the artistic things, but for 1 month as a camp.
Sure.
And 1 year, for, like, the big Oleo we did at the end, we were performing Grease Lightning and, like, doing different Grease things.
Mm-hmm.
And I hadn't seen Grease yet.
Okay.
So everyone was talking about Grease Lightning and doing all the hand motions, and I had no idea what was going on, because it was just not a movie in my radar.
Yeah, it doesn't really spell out what's going on, just in that song at least.
And so I know that after that, at some point, I watched the movie.
Sure.
I have no recollection of ever watching the movie.
Sure.
It's just one of those things that I kind of, like, remember. I've definitely seen it, but I don't remember when or why.
Yes. Yeah, it has permeated the culture in a way that I probably knew about it before I saw it, because, it's just around. But then when I started watching it, Yeah, I don't know. I love musicals. They're so fun.
Nothing wrong with that.
They're big swings, and when they miss, it's also great.
So we're here today to talk about Spider-Man Turn Off the Dark.
The biggest swing of all.
Yeah.
Because
he
swings and he also broke his back. So
Wait,
that's
what?
cool. The Thing, and I think someone broke their back. I knew that during the previews there were a lot of accidents because of the swinging, and I forget the biggest injury someone had.
Yeah. I was aware that bad things happen, but I wasn't
Yes.
aware break your back bad.
That is what I think, and if I'm wrong, I don't want to know.
That's fair. It's a good it's relevant for casting, not important.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, why did you want to talk about Grease? Why is Grease a movie that you think is worthy of discussing in terms of a remake?
I think because it is... There's movies that are remade to top them unless you just make it a little different. Grease is so good and so bad, and there's room for improvement, which I think is a crucial part of a remake. It's a classic, but it's also not, and it also... I think it literally could be updated because it's a movie from a long time ago about a longer time ago. Mm-hmm. So how could you not?
I think it's super interesting because it just means that nostalgia culture is not new.
No.
In the same way that we make movies about the 80s and 90s,
yes.
The 70s made movies about the 50s.
Yes.
Which I just think is hilarious.
Yes.
And whenever someone's like, yeah, well, nostalgia culture, Grease. Next argument?
Yep. That's it for that. Yeah. Yeah, it's... People, since the beginning of time, have liked a little bit ago more than now.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, it's not good, but it's true.
No. But when I was sitting and rewatching this movie, this might be the second time I've ever seen it all the way through.
Oh, wow.
Just because I enjoy musicals too, but I don't know, I never really prioritized watching Grease.
Yeah, that's
fair. It was more like watching segments of it.
Yes.
But yes, I would also agree that it is a very horny movie.
It's crazy. It's also because it's about teens played by not teens at all.
Adults.
Full adults, which just makes me like it so much more that some of them have, full like beards and bags under their eyes, and I love it.
They've seen some things.
They absolutely have. I mean, with the wars and stuff.
These kids should be in Vietnam.
Yes.
So, one of the things that I feel like is in different versions of the movie is the whole opening sequence on the beach.
Yes.
The version I watched did have that.
Yes.
And then school year starts.
Yes.
I did not remember that Sandy's Australian.
Yes. That is interesting because it comes up once, and I wasn't even sure... I knew that she had to move to Australia, but the accent was vague, and I wasn't sure if she was British living in Australia until I really watched it with a critical eye, which was a crazy thing to do. And it
she had to go back home to Australia.
Yes,
I guess.
Apparently, why was she there? It's that same sort of Parent Trap problem where why was this person from England and California in a camp in Maine or something? How did these two meet? Was it destiny, obviously?
Well, the thing is we don't know where that beach was.
That's true. It's probably in Australia.
Beach could have been... Well, if she had to go back home to Australia.
Yes.
Not Sydney.
Probably Tasmania.
But, where would Australians go that they would be on the beach elsewhere?
Yes, besides... If you're in the middle of Australia, you go any direction. You will find a beach. But probably a dangerous one. So there's probably no scorpions or mean kangaroos.
And then, I feel like it's some sort of divorce situation where... Because we don't meet any parents.
No, they might not exist.
Yeah, I think I cast one authority figure because there really aren't any.
Yes.
I think we have the principal, the principal's assistant, and Sid Caesar.
Yes. That is correct. That's the three I have as well.
I think I cast one of them.
Yeah, you don't need to, objectively.
Because, I mean, when it wasn't until watching the movie this time, I was like, Sid Caesar's in this movie?
Yeah.
What is happening?
Yeah, he
was great.
He was fantastic.
Nothing. His delivery and his performance was so dry and so hysterical. Yes. I loved it.
And what I also like is that all of the adults have to be so much older than the kids to make it seem like they are adults.
Right.
So everyone that works at this school is 100.
Correct. And good.
It's good.
Because if not, it's just the two musical figures the one who led like kind of like the big dance.
Yes.
Who was
right.
And at some point, which is that one? That one is
Vince Fontaine?
Right, but
Or
no,
the
the
other
one he
one?
was hitting on was Marty.
Yes.
And she was like, I caught him trying to slip something into my drink. Anyway, what's new with you?
That I didn't catch until I think 2 times ago that I watched it. So like I've been watching the movie for 20 years and I realized only now that he was which, you know, he was talking to a high schooler. That should have been a red flag. But he's a bad person.
I mean, that's enough of a red flag.
Yes.
But she was into it. Fine.
Sure.
Consensual, whatever.
Great.
He tried to slip something in my drink. Yeah, that's a problem.
I think we can finally say that Vince Fontaine is canceled.
Yes.
Finally.
And then the go back to high school guy.
Yes. Yes.
That song is mean. It's really mean.
He hates her.
He hates her so much.
That's Frankie Avalon, right? I think.
Sure.
Yes, I think it was supposed to be Elvis, and then there's I only know half of this fact is what I'm realizing, but I think Elvis
died.
Yes, Elvis absolutely died, arguably. But so when they're doing that song where they're making fun of Sandra Dee, I think in the original musical, one of the people that she talks to in like the picture to say don't have sex with me was some 50s guy that has since died, so they swapped him out for Elvis in the movie, which is great. But I think that day that they were filming that, Elvis died. So then it was ruined, and they definitely couldn't have him in the movie because of how dead he was.
I could see how that would be a problem for production.
It would be a bummer, yeah.
Yeah.
If Elvis is on the call sheet and then he's dead. God.
And that's how they have to find out?
Yes.
Man.
Oh, no.
What are we doing? Like, this guy, I know he's a big star or whatever.
Yes.
I mean, like, he's Elvis, but, like, be on time.
To go from being so mad at Elvis to grieving Elvis would be such a turnaround.
Yeah. I mean, what I think we can really realize is that the real reason he's dead is just bad craft service.
Yes. He died on the toilet.
Eating a sandwich.
Obvious. Yes. Yeah, it wasn't because anything he ate.
No.
He was eating a sandwich on the toilet. As you can when you're that famous and successful.
Correct.
Yeah.
If anything, it's the best way to live your life.
Yeah. You can just, be on a toilet for as long as possible, which was Elvis's whole thing, I think.
So... we'll get someone to verify that.
Sure, that's worth
someone
trying.
verify, make sure that that's Elvis's whole thing, and make sure that that's true.
Yeah.
So you said that you kind of had like a whole crazy concept for how you wanted to redo this movie.
Yeah, I am what they would call in too deep because
all right.
I looked at my notes and then I scrolled and it took a little bit. So I have a lot of thoughts about this apparently. My overall,
it's good to bring that back up.
Of course,
don't push it down deeper.
Yeah, no, that's why I'm here to get this
everything
out of me. So yes, so my basic concept for a Grease reboot is it ties into nostalgia culture. It's always been around. Grease, the movie, came out in 1977, and it takes place in 1978, I think. Grease, the play, came out in 1971, also takes place 1958.
58.
So, yes, 58. That was my mistake. But also I think the 6-year gap between the play and the movie is why some of the actors are so old, because they were in the play and they're like, we'll just wait for the movie, but that took so long. So if you apply those same numbers, the movie is 19 years, like the movie takes place 19 years before it came out. If you did that today, the movie would take place in the year 2000. If you do the same one with a play, it'd be 2006. So I think Grease, as a reboot, should take place in the very early 2000s, maybe 2003.
Interesting.
So that we are now taking our same scale of nostalgia and just bumping it back, 19 years.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, you've got my attention.
So it would be called Grease 2000.
Of course it would be.
Because everything in the 2000s had 2000 in the title, like Godzilla, etc. Okay, so...
Can I...
Yes,
so
please.
Then let's ask a question now.
I would love
Because I think
to.
there's a huge difference between putting something in the year 2000 versus
Yes.
putting something in the year 2003.
Yes.
I don't know why. I feel like something major happened between those two.
Yes, I have no idea what you mean, but I'm not going... Yeah, exactly. What could it be? But go on.
But I feel like if you want a slightly darker tone, it should be in 2003, and a slightly lighter tone should be in 2000. hypothetically.
Absolutely.
I mean, again, no research, but I feel like that's something to consider.
Yes, that is correct. I think...
Also, if you want to call it Grease 2000, maybe put it in 2000.
That would help. But also, they were always fighting it. But yes, I think...
I just realized that your t-shirt's all dinosaurs. I'm sorry.
Oh yeah, it's all pterodactyls. It looks like...
Which I guess aren't technically dinosaurs, they're pterodon. I don't know.
I'd call them dinosaurs. I think... I like it because it looks like a library book. Which is what I'm trying to dress like now. So that'll be cool to imagine for people.
Didn't the last time I see you, you were wearing a t-shirt that you designed?
I made it. I stole the design from an arcade carpet website.
That's it.
And I made it into a shirt, which I am told is legal by no one that I've asked. So I think I'm still even selling them because I just never took it down. And sometimes people buy them, and it hasn't been a problem yet.
I mean, unless you get a cease and desist.
No, and so great. I'm going to keep wearing it at the very least.
Absolutely. That just I just remembered that. Sorry,
yeah,
keep going.
Isn't that fun?
2000.
Yes. So let's say it's in 2000. A lot of anything that would change it as of now are just specifics that I want to use from the early 2000s.
Okay.
Maybe even it's, well, yes. So, I think it'll be interesting.
Grease Lightning is a Chevrolet.
Grease Lightning is a Chevrolet or a fancy skateboard.
Ooh.
Because I think the T-Birds, which is definitely not what their name would be, are definitely skaters. They have names...
Even that's a little dated in 2000.
Yes, that's probably true. I think...
I can verify this.
I would love for you to. I think they're pop punk skaters, if that helps. A lot of what I'm basing...
I take it all back, and I'll tell you why.
Yes.
Because the song by Avril Lavigne, Skater Boy, came out in the year 2002.
That's going to be important, because that's going to come up a lot. By that same token, I do have written down that if they are skaters, the Pink Ladies should be ballerinas or some sort of that, because famously, he was a punk. She did ballet. What more can I say from that same song? So I don't think that's their main thing, but maybe they've done ballet in the past. I think the T-Birds would have names instead of, like, in Greece it's like Potsy or something.
It was Duty, Sunny, and Putsy.
It's crazy.
I molded all three of those into just one person because they're basically the same dude.
Yes, they are all the same, except one is looks like their dad. And yes.
Yeah, I was convinced, it wasn't until, 2/3 of the movie when they kind of paired up with some of the other Pink Ladies. Yes. I was like, so these three are just a thruple, right?
Yes.
That's what's happening?
Yes. You have to kind of crack that they are not all the same person with several heads. And
hey, we're just gonna say things and be stereotypes, you know?
Yeah, I can't believe that people ever talked like that, but I guess that's what the movie would posit.
I feel like people didn't. I feel like that's kind of the stereotypical view of the 70s, making fun of the way people in the 50s talk.
Yes, that's probably because
there's no one in the South that really talks like this, and I'm just so sure that if there's one thing I know, it's that peaches and cream are the best thing. No one talks like that.
Oh, but imagine if they did.
They
awesome.
Would be running a hell of a bake sale.
They really would, yes. Yeah, I think it's important for Grease, no matter what year it takes place in, to be...
a stereotype of the time.
Exactly. Not unlike Stranger Things is, where did that happen that year? Fine. So that... With that, I'll give mine even a little more leeway, so that could help. I've written down that the T-Birds should have names like Grungy, Ollie, Healy, and Tag. Because Tag apparently was a name people had a little bit ago, which is crazy.
It's also just... it's great.
It's such
single syllable amazing.
Yes. I also think instead of Kinnicky, it should maybe be Kick Flippy, but I have a question mark next to that because I'm not sure.
I don't know if they were quite that meta yet. And I also think Kinnicky was his name.
Yes, which... is, I guess just his last name.
Yeah.
Which,
his name was just Ralph Kinnicky.
Yeah, his name could be Ralph Kick Flippy. Which would be so cool. But yeah, that's, just an option.
Alright, so I want to talk about, I'm going to segue slightly, because I want to talk about what I think another kind of remake of Grease already is.
Sure.
Because I think we kind of have, a spiritual successor to Grease already out and existing. It came out, 6-7 years ago.
Okay. Please.
And that's Pitch Perfect.
Oh, okay. Interesting.
Because I feel like Pitch Perfect is the we have a scene just to get us to the next song.
Yes.
Hey, we're quirky characters.
Yes.
And it's kind of the guys group versus the girls group.
Classic.
And the only thing that they switched was that it was a tougher girl versus a more vanilla dude.
Yes.
And the tougher girl kind of became more vanilla, and he didn't change at all.
Yes. Yeah, that's that's always how it works, is that, the boy is the same.
I mean, Danny did let her in track off screen.
Yes.
And then immediately took off that jacket.
Yes. As soon as he got what he sort of wanted, he can just go back to being the way he is. Also, the time frame of the movie is nuts because
it's a full school year.
Yes. I don't know if, like, in between scenes were, like, months and months, or all of it happens in the fall, and then we just smash cut to later.
I mean, I feel like we were missing the chyrons that said 3 months later.
That would have been nice.
3 months later.
Yes, it is now 1959.
End of movie.
And then some things that happened that year would be nice.
Right.
Yeah, who's president? Mad Men is about to start, at least the chronology of that.
Yes.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Like, I feel like Rizzo should have been showing?
Yeah, yes.
They find out she's pregnant, and then definitely more time goes by.
Yes, but she was not pregnant at the end, right?
Right. She's like, I found out! I'm not pregnant!
Yes.
Woohoo!
Yes.
Which, I mean, I feel like after 3 months, you don't find out you're not pregnant. You make yourself not pregnant.
Sure, yeah, which I think they should have really gotten into.
I mean, that's really the aspect of the 50s that we did need to talk about.
That's true, yeah.
But that's kind of what I want to talk about in, like, the sense that, like... The only thing that makes Grease different from Pitch Perfect is original songs.
Yes.
And so that leads me to my question of, do you want original songs or do you want the songs from Grease?
That's a very good question. This is something I've been struggling with for a day now. And I think watching Grease, the songs are all a ton of fun. I don't know that we need all of them. I think it'd be good to keep like a couple of the main ones that people remember the most, and then have some leeway to make your own. I do think they should all be recomposed in a pop punk style for the Grease 2000 version. Maybe it would be... Like
how Will Smith redid the songs in Aladdin.
Yes, I would say not like that, please.
Okay, alright.
Yes, I think it would be the closest thing I can think of if it was like... songs in, like, the style of, like, Spring Awakening or something.
Okay.
Like, where they're all, like, angsty and
one might
guitar-y.
say that they are totally fucked?
I would go so far to say they're totally fucked.
Alright, fair enough.
I just saw Spring Awakening for the first time in a regional production in Palm Springs when my friends and I were down there, and no one except my other friend wanted to go, and we had such a good time, and the sound quality was so bad, and we loved it. So, yeah, I'm going to be incorporating Spring Awakening because I have seen that recently.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
I have never seen it.
You got it.
But I've definitely performed the song Totally Fucked.
Yeah, you have a very good window into songs.
That's happening to me.
Yes. It, I guess more than Grease Lightning, sums up the feeling of what everyone's up to, which is that they're mad. So I think you get the gist of Spring Awakening.
Yes.
But, yeah.
That would be a 2003 era. Everyone would be very mad.
Absolutely, yeah. So I'm going to make a list. I'm going to make points for 2000 and points for 2003. So that's 1 for 2003 and 1 for 2000 just because it seems like a better idea overall. Yeah, yes.
So then, if that's kind of the essence of Spring Awakening, what is the essence of Grease? Like, if you boil it down, what's the kernel, the nugget of Grease? Gross.
Yes. Yeah, that would be gross. Yeah, Grease Nugget. That's a very good question. I think...
Other than it's just, everyone's horny when they're in high school.
Yes, that's a huge part of it.
And literally, that might be the essence of Grease.
It is closest to anything I can think of. It's sort of... There's a balance of the nostalgia of the 50s, I guess, with... There's no real, like, dark realities of the 50s.
Oh, sure there is.
Well, yes.
The dark realities of the 50s is, see all these red flags? Doesn't matter, you're in love.
Yes, that is true, yeah. And
Sandy has a whole song called Hopelessly Devoted.
That's right.
Where she's like, well, he's doing all of these terrible things, but I'm definitely going to be in love with him forever.
That is true, yes. And you gotta wonder, is it the point of something if it isn't commenting on it, but just maybe believes that? Like, yeah, can I count that as essence if it doesn't mean for it to be. How much of Grease do you think is satirical?
Only the parts where they're making fun of individual peoples and cultures.
Yes.
Like,
Yeah.
I think that the people who made Grease see it as Romeo and Juliet.
Yeah.
Except where they fly off in a car that has the ability to fly at the end.
Yeah.
I
do
think
that.
I think Grease at the time it came out is very different from Grease the way we look at it now.
Mhm.
I think Grease when it came out was, this is proof that love can conquer all, even the most different, even the greatest differences between two white people is not enough to
Yes.
stand in the way of true love.
Yes. Yeah.
Whereas
think... Yes, please.
Grease now is, oh man, don't do this.
Yes. Yeah, it's much more of a cautionary tale. I watched a video essay once where they said that Grease was about performing gender instead of being defined by it inherently. So it was like, it's not that Sandy has to change herself to be likable, it's that she's like denying her own sexuality but really wants to in the end. That's her real self. And that is a very kind look at Grease. And at times it's the one I choose to believe.
I think that's a good assessment.
Yes.
I think Danny absolutely, that's a whole aspect of the movie that he's like he, as soon as he sees Sandy, he breaks and he's like, oh my gosh, Sandy, you're here.
Yes.
Time like his friends come around, he's like, I gotta put on this character again.
Yes.
But Sandy, it certainly felt like that's who...
Doesn't know anything else to be, but I think it's definitely arguable that she changes herself to be a different person, which isn't great.
It is not.
No. So mine would
Unless
be different.
she wanted to, I don't know. It's a tricky situation.
Yeah. If he had kept the jacket on, that really would have helped. That'd be a step in the right direction.
Yeah. I think at the time, he doesn't want to be a nerd.
Yes.
Like I don't remember what, I think it was Eugene or something.
Yeah, it was definitely Eugene.
Beating up this kid named Eugene. And I'm like, he's just a skinny nerd. Just let him be cool. Just let him go play D&D with his friends.
Yes, and then at the end, he's the best pie thrower.
Which
and the coach is like, oh, you're
best.
awesome. Yes, but then he gets pied in the face because geeks lose.
And because the cool kids can't handle not
Yes.
being as good at something. And
Yes, although they've been defeated by having to go to summer school. There's a lot going on.
Yeah.
But it does get the feeling...
honestly, the best character in this movie is Sid Caesar's character.
Yes, oh my god, Coach
Like,
something. Yeah, he's great.
Legitimately, I'm not even kidding. Like,
No.
he Danny theoretically would be the person like, oh, he's just a punk. We don't have to care about him.
Yeah.
But, like Sid Caesar's like, no, we're gonna find the sport you're good at and something that works for you, and it'll be great.
He spends a whole school day trying out different sports with his kid. That's so nice. He sees something in him when he should not.
Something in the nerd that everyone else had been making fun of, and it's the only praise that character gets the entire movie.
Yeah, that's really true. Huh. Yeah, good for Sid
real-
Caesar.
the
I wish
real
I knew his
hero.
name. I wish I knew his character's name. Coach blank.
Calhoun?
Yes, that is right. Okay. That's the thing about Grease is I have seen it so many times that like line reads are tattooed on my brain, like the way people say specific things, like hickey by Kaneki, whatever. So
That is a great line.
It is a great line. So when I see it, when I'm trying to view it more critically, I can only then realize, like, that's crazy how he said that. Why? But yeah, Coach Calhoun, that's deep in there. That is his name.
So I'm sorry. So you're talking about
please.
like what Grease represents. So
Yes.
And so what do you want your version of Grease to represent?
I think there's a feeling in Grease that even though it is only 19 years after when it's set, the 70s were saying this is how things used to be, but everything's great now, which famously is not how the 70s were. So I think mine, I would want...
I don't know who you've been talking to.
That's true. Yeah, no, they went so good. Exactly how everyone planned with Nixon and everything. I think I would want it to be more critical of the time, but also reflecting now, but not in an obvious way, saying, like, wasn't stuff crazy back then? Much like The Hero with 1,000 Faces, Grease has been told 1,000 times, and we will always have some of this, so let's try to do a little better.
So what do you want to like happen? Like, do you want to start with the scene on the beach? Do you want to have...
It's important to me that Danny and Sandy, before school, have never met, but have spent the whole summer IMing and playing Club Penguin.
That is a deep cut.
Yes.
I love it.
That's an important thing. A lot of what I have
Their Neopets are named after each other.
Yes, absolutely. That I have a lot of just things I want to happen, and then I can wrap a story around them, I guess. But, yeah.
Here's my final pitch for why I think Grease should take place in the year 2000.
Okay.
I think Grease 2 should take place after 2001.
Interesting. That would be very different. Okay, yeah. There's a case to be made for that. That's another point for 2000.
Things are getting dark. We're riding a motorcycle now.
Yes.
I'm gonna be a superhero on a motorcycle.
Grease 2, and I won't get into it too much, is so crazy. Especially watching Grease 2, as I did at some point recently, does make Grease look better because at least the songs have something to do with what's going on.
Right.
And it's not just like, bowling is so fun. Let's do a whole song about bowling.
I mean...
It's not.
Right.
But yeah.
The best thing about Grease 2 is that the logo got to be used in that short called Logorama.
Oh, what's that?
There was some Oscar-nominated short called Logorama from, I don't know, 10, 15 years ago, where basically, it was an entire world populated by logos and, like, brand symbols.
Oh, okay, I see.
And, like, the main character is Ronald McDonald.
Okay.
And he ends up riding the Grease 2 motorcycle around.
That's cool. He has a gun. I'm looking at pictures.
Yeah,
wow.
It was on YouTube for a while. It might still be. Okay. And it's basically just, like, how that entire world is crumbling.
Oh, it's on Vimeo now. It's gotten a step up. Yeah. Okay, I will have to watch this later.
It's worth your time.
That seems cool. That was a Jolly Green Giant. Okay, cool.
Oh, yeah. He's a logo and a character.
Of course.
But yes, because I think that is somewhat the essence of Grease, in that it's kind of like, life is fun and wonderful and everything's going to be okay if we just believe in love.
Yes. Yeah. It really is saying...
A skater kid could totally date a ballerina.
Yes. Yeah, which is not even what the song comes to the conclusion of.
So
depending on your reading of it.
Instead of being greasers, they're axers?
I think so, yes. They're Axe body sprayers.
Okay.
Yeah, maybe I think it should still be called Grease something, so you at least know what it is.
Yeah.
But there's a case to be made. It's called Tag a Body Spray or something.
Basically.
Yes, and then that would explain what tag is.
So tell me what your kind of tentpole moments are that you want to kind of write the story around.
So, just using Grease as a loose structure... changing out some songs for new Blink-182 type songs.
Sure, this is their time to shine.
Absolutely. I have at least a list of where every song would take place.
Okay, great.
So, now the first one, Summer Nights, would take place. The boys are skating in a parking lot. The girls are maybe in a Young Republicans club.
I'm not okay with that at all.
Yes, no, absolutely, and it's
you
wrong.
You can put them at dance class.
That's true. Yeah, I guess Sandy
establish their dancers.
Sandy is the only one that supports the Iraq War, which I have written down, which is a point for 2003. God. So now it's all tied up. Yes, so I think let's keep them being dancers. I also think they have kind of a Mean Girls-y vibe because they famously wear pink, and that's I think an evolution of that same sort of thing.
Yeah.
So they're Mean Girl ballerinas, and only one of them is a Young Republican.
We don't get whatever the group's name was in Mean Girls without first having it in Grease.
Yes. The Plastics, that's right.
There you go.
Cool. Okay, the next song, Look at Me, I'm Sandra Dee, takes place in a computer room while they're watching clips on YouTube. Although I do have that, instead of a sleepover at someone's house, they should watch, YouTube videos and do whippets. So maybe... Flash animation videos. Maybe, let's say they're at school in a computer room watching YouTube videos. Skipped Hopelessly Devoted. I did not have anything for that. Grease Lightning.
I feel like Hopelessly Devoted we can just...
That one, it's gone.
It's just gone.
That was a reshoot, I think. We don't need it in this one.
It was a reshoot?
I think so, because they didn't have, like, her singing for, like, a while besides the first song, and they were like, let's have her just go out and sit by a kiddie pool.
And, like, weirdly... not CG, but somehow figure out a way to put his reflection onto a...
Yes. Her looking at a reflection and seeing him is weird, because then it's like she's him. Also, wasn't he wearing, like, a Letterman's jacket in her vision of him? Yes, I think... Yeah, he was not dressed the way he ever has.
Yeah.
Maybe at the beach, but I don't even think so.
No, because even at the beach, he's wearing black, I think.
Yeah. So that song's, it's gone.
And
done.
even at the beach, she's like, no, you're going to ruin it. He's like, no, it's going to make it better.
Yes.
At the beach, it's not even good.
Yeah, that was bad. Yeah.
Like, again, red flag.
Yeah, that was bad. Oh, God. Grease Lightning, and this is non-negotiable. In Grease Lightning, they are designing a character in Tony Hawk's Pro Skater.
Oh my god.
So...
But they literally have to use that character later.
I think they're creating
then
a
doing
version of
something-
themselves, maybe.
But then is the competition against Craterface in
Yes.
Tony Hawk Pro Skater?
That's totally possible. I was thinking of it
So are they
as
going
just...
over to Kanicki's house to play N64?
Yeah, that might be what it is. I was thinking it might be at a real skate park, but that's not true to the time. They really would play... Yeah, in a living room with, like, a bunch of hot fries or whatever. So, yeah, I think that's what it is at the end. Tony Hawk's Pro Skater.
And are they going to be playing for Pink Slips?
They are playing for Game Boys? I'm not sure what that would be.
You could say, here's my pitch.
Please. So open.
If we're going to be playing with N64s,
Yes.
and they're going to be playing Tony Hawk Pro Skater,
Mm-hmm.
they're each going to be bringing in their own controller.
That's true.
And it's going to be a highly stylized, personalized, they made their controller
They
awesome.
wrote all over it, yeah.
Wrote all over it, they like stickers and whatever.
Temporary
like,
tattoos. Fruit
took
by the
pieces
fruit
of-
sticker
Yeah.
things.
I mean, I've still got my N64 controller
Yeah,
sitting
that's-
here in this room.
That's
And
very
if
exciting.
I had to give one of those up,
Yeah.
I would be ruined.
One of them has, like, a blue one that's, like, half see-through, so you can see all the stuff inside.
Oh, yeah.
That'd be cool.
And the other one has one of, like, the off-brand ones, but they've modded it.
Yeah.
So it's like, no, you get to go slightly faster, but that's the programming of the game, not the controller. No, man, I figured it out.
Yeah, he didn't just break his controller, he made it better, and that's what
Right.
he has to really stand by.
Uh-huh.
Yes, so they are playing for N64 controllers. Good, making a note of that. Okay.
Everyone's there to cheer them on.
Yes. Because they only have, like, in the movie, like, 8 friends. They could all fit in a living room.
I mean, they really... The woman who was running for... She wasn't even running for class president.
Yes, she was running for student council?
Something.
Something like that.
And she's really only there to be like, these guys are in their weird little clique. We're going to be the regular student body over here.
Yes.
And so she's there at the beginning as part of the Tell Me More, Tell Me More.
Mhm.
And then the next time she's there, they were walking past Rizzo and she goes, that's the one I was telling you about.
Yes, that I would have more of, that sort of moment, because I think we should more establish that these, like, 8 people are cool to themselves.
Yeah.
But everyone else is like, what? No, what's with them?
This is the year 2000.
Yes.
Cliques don't really exist
No,
anymore.
why are you so old?
Having a conversation with someone who's, like, in the process of rebooting High School Musical.
Oh.
And
good.
they talk about how High School Musical as a movie doesn't really work anymore, and like kids who watch it, because High School Musical, even when it first came out and I watched it, I was like, that's not how high school is.
Yes.
Because it was incredibly clicked and segmented.
You're just a math guy,
right?
or you're just a basketball girl.
Sure.
In the new version.
That doesn't exist anymore. And so they were talking about how do you do that in a world where the 50s was all about cliques, but that's just not the world.
Yes.
And to have these people kind of existing within a clique is so...
They're the last cliques.
Yes.
Everyone else is dissolved into just, being regular.
Just book smart type of student people.
Yeah, that I like. Cool. I'll write that down.
So instead of being the coolest kids, it's just the weirdos who always have their own table, and everyone's like, hey, I'm going to go over here.
Yes, they are by themselves because everyone else has decided.
Rizzo sure was fun when we were in 3rd grade, but as soon as she started taking dance classes, she only hangs out with dance people.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, it'd be annoying.
So, like, this Sandy character could literally be someone who, like, was hanging out with whoever in Australia, and, like, it still wants to do dance, but that means that Sandy has to hang out with the dance people.
Yes, she cannot be friends with anyone else. Apparently, unless she's friends with anyone else, then she can be friends with everyone except the dance people. It's a tough choice.
Yeah, and it's really that thing that she likes doing.
Yes.
Or the rest of the student body.
Yes. It's a choice we all must make, except luckily we don't anymore have to.
Times they are a change. So, I'm sorry, what's the next...
Let's see. Okay.
So they're playing N64 in someone's garage. I mean, the joke is the mom's basement, but no one... I mean...
Yeah.
I've never lived anywhere that has basements.
Yes.
They don't exist in Arizona, they don't exist in Colorado, they don't exist in California.
We have them in New Jersey, but, like, they weren't... A garage is the same. It's just as good. And
I feel
cooler
like
in many ways.
exist because of winter.
Yes.
And, like, places where storms happen.
Yes.
Arizona, there's no cold. Why would you go to a place that would trap the heat?
It's just going to get worse, yeah.
Colorado, I don't know. They just didn't have them in California. Why would you put a basement where there's earthquakes?
Yeah. All good points that I guess they took into consideration and did not make anywhere.
Yeah. So, I guess my question is, before we get to the next one, is...
Absolutely.
Where does this take place?
The game at the end?
No, in general. Where is this?
Oh, in the world. That's a good question.
Because I don't know where the original Grease took place, but I assume California somewhere?
Yes. I feel like it must have. I think...
Because if it's LA, they could just be skaters at Venice Boardwalk.
Yeah.
Right?
Maybe it's... Although it might have to be a little more suburban, and I don't even know why. Maybe...
Because you want exclusively white people.
That's what it is.
Got it.
Actually, I have a note here that I made while watching Grease that maybe in the new one there are some non-white people in it even. Which, because in the first one, no, sir.
I put in a few.
Yeah, absolutely. I think
I think it's important.
I don't want to get political, because I think that'd be better.
That's a hard
I
stance.
know. It's
crazy that that's the hill you want to die on.
I know.
But sorry, keep going.
Okay. Yeah, so I think we can say it's California, because it doesn't matter about the season change, because there's no way to tell what time of year it is ever.
Correct.
The next one, it spoils some of my casting, but it's not a big one. So, the song Beauty School Dropout, in this version, I believe, is about a girl quitting high school to just start a blog and get money from that. So, her guardian angel, who tells her not to do that, it takes place in cyberspace, in the way that they filmed, like, the inside of a computer in, like, the early 2000s when no one really got it, or, like, how they worked, and there's just, like numbers flying around and stuff. Ones and zeros, mainly.
A Matrix interpretation of how internet works.
Exactly. And in the movie, the Guardian Angel is played by, I think, Frankie Avalon, who was a star from that time, who came back to be in the movie or whatever. So, a star from the early 2000s that would come back to be the Guardian Angel in this would be Crazy Frog, who would then sing a Crazy Frogged version of this song. And, you know, people would like it online at least.
All the people and internet celebrities from the 2000s.
Yes, it has to be Crazy Frog.
It has to be Crazy Frog.
I wrote down that I would maybe accept Clippy the Microsoft Word paperclip.
That...
Because then he'd be like, I see you need help with that being your life, but
you feel like that's been done before? And I feel like Clippy's proprietary and Crazy Frog belongs to the masses?
Crazy Frog, it was a gift to us all that everyone returned, but he's still out there.
Here's the problem I have with that.
Sure. Is it
I
that Crazy Frog has a penis?
I don't have a recasting for that character.
Interesting.
Which means I have to go with Crazy Frog.
Yeah, it's by default.
And that hurts me.
Crazy Frog is running unopposed, and he's going to win.
Ooh, I'm writing it down.
Good.
Can I make a pitch for Crazy Frog's backup dancers?
Absolutely.
Hamsters.
Yes. Doing a dance? Love it. Yeah. Not well animated. Just those, like, couple GIFs that all...
Just like, it's 3 images of it rotating, and then it turns back to the original, and then again.
Yeah.
But there's, like, 10 different versions of hamsters.
Yes.
And it's just rows of them on the same page.
And part of it is how long you can watch this without saying, can we do something else?
Yeah.
As it always was.
And then you going 5 or 6 years, and then watching the animated Robin Hood movie and going, wait!
It's crazy that the only part of Hamster Dance that was at all impressive or interesting was the song. It didn't even make it up.
They did not.
It's crazy.
And I danced to that song at many, many bar and bat mitzvahs.
Of course.
And those were all in the years 2000, 2001.
Yeah, it's...
It was that, Time Warp, playing Coke and Pepsi.
Oh, yeah. Oh, my God.
Oh, man, what are
Oh, yeah. Some of this should be at a bar bat mitzvah. Maybe you're the one that
that's a little bit young.
That's true.
That's 13-year-olds. These are like 16, 17-year-olds.
Yes,
these are people finally spending the last of their bar mitzvah money.
Yes. Yeah, that could be cool.
Sandy could be spending the last of her bar mitzvah money on her makeover.
Yes. That'd be awesome.
In lieu of going to college.
Yeah, she made the right choice. She changed herself for a boy instead of going to college. Next song is it's just called Sandy, where he is stranded at the drive-in because he tries to have sex with her. She's like, no. That part wouldn't happen in this. But they would break up in some way, sing a movie at a mall, and he would sing a sad song while walking through Hot Topic, and almost delving all the way into his, like, goth proclivities, but not fully
Great, I agree
becoming
with all of
entirely
that.
lost.
That's
Excellent.
wonderful. It's just walking through a mall.
Yes, it's perfect.
It's perfect. It's so the 90s.
Yes, yeah, it's a bad mall. It's getting worse.
He has that moment where he's leaning on someone else's car singing to himself, but it's against a cinnamon bun place.
Yes, it's Annie Ann's or something. I love it.
I was like, you can think of something. It's Cinna something, right? No, brain's not coming to anything. Well, just gonna have to bail. Cinnamon bun place.
Look, we got what it was. It's perfect. Rizzo's sad song, There Are Worse Things I Can Do, takes place in a Blockbuster. I'm not sure why. What my original thought was like, oh, she's walking by seeing all the, like, people that she wants to be like on movie covers, but they don't have the covers at Blockbuster. Maybe they have posters. I don't know. Something's at a Blockbuster, maybe that.
I think she's got to have a job if she thinks she's going to be pregnant.
Oh, yeah, she works at Blockbuster.
Yeah.
That makes sense. Yeah, perfect.
And, like, all of those places were singularly employed by teenagers.
Yes.
So, like, the Hot Dog on a Stick, Radio Shack, Blockbuster, GameStop, just teenagers.
Yes.
Just trying to raise money for their cigarette habit or unwanted pregnancy.
Of course. That was their whole thing. They, did great at it. And then the last two songs, instead of being at a carnival, I have it that they're at Warped Tour. Or some, like, bad concert. Like...
Warped Tour?
Bonnaroo. That was... When was Warped Tour? Just a moment.
What is Warped Tour?
Let's see. Warped Tour is a traveling rock tour that toured the United States with 3 or 4 stops in Canada. Apparently that's what it says. The first Warped Tour took place in 1995, and the skateboard shoe manufacturer Vans became the main sponsor of the tour. Okay, so it's the Vans Warped Tour, apparently.
That is very 90s if that's when it... 90s, 2000s.
I remember it's something that my sister wanted to go to, and that's all I know about it. But if it's sponsored by a skateboard shoe thing... I'll stick with it until I can top it.
Alright, that's fine. I mean, unless we're going to put them at the Nickelodeon Takes Over Your School.
Interesting.
Which I don't want.
No, that... someone should get slimed at some point, but we'll find a place for someone to get slimed.
Again, that's more 90s than early 2000s.
Yes, but there was some carryover.
Absolutely.
And also, instead of American Bandstand in the movie coming to film at their dance, it would be, I think, Total Request Live or some sort of MTV show.
Yeah.
Vince Fontaine would be a VJ.
Some random MTV something.
Yes, Soul Patch.
Yeah.
Rat Tail. Yeah.
This school had a lot of money for what I assume was a public school.
Yes.
They were able to bring this. First of all, they were able to train their entire student body to be professional dancers.
Yes.
And they were all very well choreographed.
Yeah.
They were a school that got picked for this thing anyway.
Yes.
And then at the end, the carnival is a massive carnival.
It's incredible.
In a huge area.
Yeah. Is that their fields? I don't think it was even...
Maybe?
Yeah. But it was not on just fields, I feel like. It also, like... It wasn't even just, like, rides. They had, like, a cotton candy stand. Everything was run by the teachers, which was odd. Like, I guess it was only the school doing that, which is crazy.
Because when I graduated high school, we kind of had, like, a graduation night mini carnival. But it was just, like, throw darts at a balloon to win a Beanie Baby.
Yes, that's different.
That's 100% true. And I won some Beanie Babies, I think.
Well, you should find them. They're probably worth a lot of money.
This was just after the Beanie Baby bubble burst.
Oh, wow.
So it was just, like, donated.
Yeah, there should be Beanie Babies in this.
Well, here's where the Beanie Babies are.
Please.
Sandy's room.
Yes. Oh, she's obsessed with them.
Yeah.
And the joke's on everyone that makes fun of her because she's going to be rich soon.
She's going to make so much money.
Yes, but she'd never sell them.
No.
So, that's a shame.
Yeah. I literally, I have Beanie Babies on my shelf over here just because I think it's funny. Because, otherwise they were just sitting in a bag in my my parents' garage. And I'm just like, well, let me grab the 4 that I really liked. Because at some point someone will see them and it'll bring them joy.
Yes.
And it
worked. Yeah, that's nice.
Goofy.
My brother and I used to throw them at each other as hard as we could.
I don't have a brother, or otherwise I'm sure I would have done the exact same thing.
Yeah,
because that's what brothers do.
Yes.
I had a sister, so we just kind of sneakily watched the shows that the other one was actively watching.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Which is how I saw Sailor Moon.
Nice.
And then she stopped watching, and I kept watching.
Nice.
It's all about finding the shows that you can agree on, like
yes.
The Nanny and Friends.
Yes, the two best shows ever. The snake beanie babies were good because then they would wrap around your legs if you were running.
Ooh, those
cool.
are good.
Yeah.
I mean, but it was all about Spooky the Ghost, which is why Spooky the Ghost is on the highest shelf over here.
Of course.
It's always been the best one.
Yeah, and he has one arm, is that just my angle?
He has two arms. The other one has the tag on it.
Because I was wondering if that's maybe how he died.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, he doesn't have any legs.
That
Just
could be
has kind of a tail.
Yeah.
Just got caught in a thresher.
That's probably... Wow, yeah. That's too bad. Poor Spooky.
Poor Spooky.
Weird that was his name in life, too.
Okay.
Yes.
So, Warped Tour.
Yes. Yeah, so it ends there at some, like, sort of punk... At the end, Sandy wears a tie like Avril Lavigne.
Great.
That's a lot of her transformation.
I mean, this is going to go really poorly when I reveal to you that I gender swapped both Sandy and Danny.
Here's what I was thinking about that. That is the better thing to do, but I didn't want to step on the toes of Grease 2 because that's what they sort of do there. Mm-hmm. So I wanted to leave room for a Grease 2000 sequel, Grease 2003 or whatever it is, to, gender swap them. Another reason I didn't gender swap them is Danny Zuko's full name is Danny Zuckerberg, and that's revealed at the end. Then he invents Facebook.
Oh.
So that's cool.
That is cool.
Right?
And he reveals he was a nerd all along.
Yes.
Because he was sitting there programming his N64 controller.
Exactly, yes. He was the one that...
in his garage figuring out how, like, machinery and programming work.
That's why he always won. He's not good at skating in cyberspace. He's good at making his controller better.
He doesn't letter and track. He wins the science fair.
Yes. It's not about the A on his sweatshirt. It's the A on the button. Something like that.
Or... The A on the controller works.
Yeah.
Or I was going to just say the A that he earned in school.
Yeah, that's better.
Like,
that would be better.
The rest of the greasers don't have to stick around for summer school. Like, Danny's actually, like, cum laude or something.
Yeah, he's smart, and that's better.
Because it's all this is who they are. Danny's like, this is who I'm choosing to be when I'm with you guys.
Yes, exactly.
It's weird that you're following me.
Yes. I love it. This is sort of unrelated, but I love in Grease... The first shot when they see Danny Zuko after the like animated titles, whatever,
which
is
were
that
good.
thing.
They
were so fun.
Yeah, we haven't talked about those yet, but those were good.
They were so cool. Yeah, I love those. They used to be flash animated in mine. They see him and they're like, Danny. Then he like turns around. There's a like zoom into him smiling, and it's like he's been revealed, but we just saw him at the beginning, which is it makes more sense that. Sometimes maybe the summer scene at the beginning wasn't supposed to be there.
No.
It's crazy. We just saw him.
The other thing is, like, he has this moment with, I don't know which one of them, but I'm going to assume Duty.
Yeah.
Where he's like, so what are you going to do? Are you just going to be a follower and just follow some people the rest of your life? And then the guy just doesn't answer, and we just, like, move on to the next scene. I'm like, that's the most revelatory thing in this movie for those. That's the biggest character moment those people have.
Yes, and the answer by their silence is yes.
They're always going to find someone to follow.
Yes.
Like, because it's basically just like Danny and Kaneki, and then just like 3 people.
Yes.
Who, again,
any 3
combined into one.
Yes.
We only need one person for that role.
Absolutely. Different wigs, maybe.
Maybe. I like literally just. It's Duty, Sonny, and Putsy, so it's Donzi. Donzi.
Donzi. That makes sense.
We already have a Danny.
Oh.
Ponzi. That doesn't work.
Uh-oh. Maybe that's a hint at their future, that they do follow people, and they lose all their money to Bernie Madoff.
But they don't have to lose all their money, because all they do is they got to find some other people who are interested in Herbalife.
Yes.
I've got a party that I really think you should attend.
Of course, yeah. That sounds fun and just regular.
Uh-huh.
Oh, great.
Yeah, no downside. And some really good business opportunities for you.
Good. And you're doing well?
And you can work from home.
Oh, cool. Okay.
So well.
Cool. Oh, great. Then that sounds fine.
Make thousands of dollars just working from home. A month? A year?
Yeah. Okay, and you didn't buy any
just
of it?
Thousands of dollars a year.
Okay, cool. Yeah.
You can afford... thousands of dollars
a
year. Oh, I literally matched with someone on a dating app, and just chatting back and forth a little bit, and it was like, oh yeah, well, so what do you do for a living? I manage events for Herbalife, and I stopped talking to her.
Wow.
And
that's the reddest of flags.
It was like the 3rd or 4th thing, like, because it's like, oh, hey, nice to meet you. Hey, comment on your profile. Haha, well done. Comment on your profile.
Sure.
So what do you do for a living? Manage things in Herbalife. Done.
Oh my god.
Nuclear deterrent. We're out.
And that's one of the most famous scam ones. Like, there's some that you're like, oh, I found out this is a scam, but that's obviously a scam.
She left, like, it was something along the lines of, I used to do something else, but now I manage events for Herbalife.
Wow.
And I'm like, oh. No. I feel bad for her to this day.
Yeah.
But let's get into casting.
Absolutely.
So, I'll start, let's do Sandy and Danny at the same time.
Okay.
Just because I think you have a good point that we have to leave room for Grease 2.
Of course.
Theoretically, not because of any reason.
No, I don't know why else I would have said that.
Yeah. Anyway, so I basically cast kind of like a well-known, and they're not even a real couple, but it's kind of like a on-screen couple that exists already. It's like, we like these two together.
That's smart.
But one of them's a little bit darker, one of them's a little bit lighter, and so that's why I went with Tom Holland and Zendaya.
Cool. Yeah. It's interesting because that's correct. Like, that is the right answer, and it's so different from mine, and that's a good job.
Thank you.
I would love to watch that movie.
I mean, because it's really hard to Google for who's in Hollywood right now who also sings and dances.
Yes.
And then it's just like, well, here's a vlog. Cool. Can't use you. I also needed you to act.
I think I Googled actors who also sing in incognito mode. I did a lot of this in incognito mode because I don't want these to be like suggested.
No, my Google search history is just screwed over at this point because I have to look for child actors.
Yes.
And you should never have to be that guy.
Yeah.
It's not good.
No, that's
because it's always combined with like child actors under 40 who can still whatever.
Yeah.
It's bad. I don't like it. But thank you. So
absolutely.
Who are your two that aren't correct?
Yes.
But are still good?
Yes. They are wrong, but in many ways perfect. I had a rule to follow the parameters of Grease. The main two actors should look youngish, and everyone else should be very old. So I also had a rule for myself that the main two should have been on TV in or around 2000 or 2003. So for that reason, my Danny is Cole Sprouse, and my Sandy is Jamie Lynn Spears. Now, you might have some questions.
Hold on.
Absolutely.
I need to make sure I know who Jamie Lynn Spears is.
Oh, of course. No, that's...
Wasn't she a Nickelodeon star who got pregnant and had to leave TV?
She was in All That. She was famously the sister of Britney Spears. She was in the new cast of All That. She did get pregnant at 16. Arguably, you could say Jamie Lynn Spears has not been in anything in a long time and is only going to be in a TV show again next year, so we don't even know how good she is.
In Sweet Magnolias.
Of course.
Playing Noreen Fitzgibbons.
Which, that helps, I think. That gives me some hope that she still has the range. And she... Was she Zoe 101?
Yes,
okay,
she was
good.
Zoe 101. That's the one that I'm aware of. I didn't remember she was in All That.
No, that's fine. And then Cole Sprouse, famously, apparently, when I was Googling, was the only character in Riverdale that did not want to sing in the first episode that they did that was a musical, and the second time had to be convinced to sing and doesn't like singing. But that, in a way, is part of it to me. I think that, as in Grease 2000, we're presenting a very different version of coolness. And if you were to cast someone like Zac Efron, who clearly is up for another High School Musical type thing after... I think he might have been in The Greatest Showman and been like, oh, this will be different from High School Musical. And then it wasn't at all. It was like the same exact vibe. And I think that for that reason, he'd be great to be in a Grease 2000. But I think that John Travolta in the movie...
He was in Hairspray also, right?
Yes. I guess after that, he maybe tried to do something more serious.
Yeah,
and now he's back, baby. Yes.
Because he was in a lot of flops.
Yes. But now he's Ted Bundy.
Oh, yeah,
he's doing just fine.
Yeah, he's going to be okay.
Yeah, we don't have to worry about
Apparently he's super nice, that's why everyone keeps casting him.
That makes sense. Yeah. He seems so nice. But yeah, I think John Travolta is like some version of coolness in that movie, but also just like moves in such an unnatural way sometimes, and is, as we have later confirmed, so weird that I think...
So weird.
So weird. Someone like a Cole Sprouse has to be a little off to be the grunge punk version of
the
this.
nice thing is that they were both child actors, so
Yes.
they're both definitely broken.
Yes, that's huge. And yeah, there's going to be something off about them. Also in mine, I think Sandy is Southern instead of Australian, and maybe
That
talks
tracks.
like you did earlier. That fake accent is probably how she talks.
Which might be how she actually talks.
Yes, it's entirely
Because
possible.
I've seen interviews with Britney Spears. I don't know, and I'm sure she plays it up a little bit, but like
Yeah.
she definitely has that kind of twang.
Yes, and I think it's important to watch this Sandy in this movie and know that this person was pregnant at 16, because it gives a sense of history to it that you really do feel like you're back in the year 2000 or 2003.
One of the first things that so you know when you move to LA and you like, oh, you start seeing people and recognizing them.
Yes.
One of the first celeb spots I ever had was Jamie Lynn Spears.
Oh, wow.
Just at the Millions of Milkshakes that RIP used to be on Santa Monica Boulevard. It was great because I love Millions of Milkshakes. It was terrible for you, but it was so good. And it was one of those people who she was like definitely in line, like either in front of or behind me. And I just was like, I know you from something.
Yeah.
I'm just going to be that person who just keeps looking and keeps not knowing who you are.
You gotta
and
crack
in
it.
retrospect, I was a terrible human being. Because, like, when you're new to LA, you're like, you're one of those people from the TV.
Yes.
And,
Yeah, it's how do they get out of there? It's weird to see them. And one of my celebrity spottings early on was Cole Sprouse. So we've seen them both. So now it has to be them.
yeah, I think it has to be them because I think you're right that we have to leave space for Grease 2 where
Yes.
it does do that flip.
Yes.
Like, the thing about Grease is that it is the tough guy and the not tough girl. Which,
Yes.
of course, we will reveal that Cole can be a little bit vulnerable.
Yes.
And Jamie Lynn can be a little bit tough.
She can wear a
because
tie.
they're human beings.
Yes, turns out they're not just one thing or one activity.
Yeah, they are full, well-rounded, in this case, adults.
Yes, full
Since,
adults.
Jamie Lynn Spears is 28.
Yes.
And Cole Sprouse is 27.
I believe they're the youngest in my cast.
Fun fact... Are they really?
Yes.
Fun fact about... They are not the youngest in mine.
Good.
I mean, my cast is all early 20s, which was really hard to do.
Yes.
Fun fact about Jamie Lynn Spears, she is born the day before my sister.
Oh, wow.
Her birthday is April 4th, and Molly's birthday is April 5th.
Wow. That is fun.
Yeah. If you want to know the year, you can do the math yourself.
Absolutely.
All right, cool. So, did you combine Duty, Sony, and Putsy into one person?
I have a list of T-Birds and a list of Pink Ladies. They're kind of a grab bag. You can take any of these and put them all up.
I combined those three, but I individualized all the Pink Ladies because I'm perfectly happy cutting dudes, but probably could use more women. Why not?
No, sure. Yeah.
Weird side note. So the character Jan is the one that's like constantly eating.
Yes.
The entire time I was watching
Yeah.
the entire time I saw that character on screen, I was like, oh, she made a really good Harley Quinn.
Huh.
She has good Harley Quinn energy.
Yeah.
'Cause she's
She has the pigtails.
crazy.
Yes.
And she kept playing nuts.
Yes.
And I was really on board for her character. And then, like, halfway through the movie, they started referring to her as, like, the fat one. I'm like, no. She's still real skinny.
They say there's more to her than just fat.
Yeah.
There's not even
And
fat.
there's no fat. They gave her a character trait of... Like, I'm sure it was written where this person would be overweight.
Yes.
But not in Hollywood, baby.
Yes. I think she was written as hungry, not necessarily overweight. But then they were like, no, let's make
still,
her that.
like,
Yeah.
super slim and attractive and everything.
Yes.
And
She's great.
so I didn't necessarily cast an overweight person either, but like
Sure.
someone can be eating all the time. Like I have friends who eat all the time and just have really good metabolisms and
Yeah.
they're just constantly starving.
Yes.
Like, my body craves more. And so I just wanted to call that out of like, that's weird.
Yeah.
I think the movie did that.
Oh, yeah.
The
I'm
50s and 70s were not good.
going to go out on a limb and say I'm not going to do that in mine.
Cool.
Yeah.
So then, because you've got kind of a grab bag for both,
Yes.
what I'm going to do is present the character, and I'll
Please.
tell you who I have, and
Okay.
then give me one person from your list you think is a good competition for that person.
Absolutely.
Let's start with Duty, Sunny, and Putsy,
Okay.
which I just think is fun saying.
So funny.
The actor that I have for that is a actor named Brandon Suhu,
Okay.
who, if you want to pull him up on IMDb or whatever, he was in Tropic Thunder. He was the little kid in Tropic Thunder, like
Okay.
the Vietnamese kid.
Okay.
He's in Pen 15. He was in Ender's Game. He's a young actor in his early 20s, which is what I was trying to go for.
Yes.
We can certainly do a mix of like young people and old people.
Sure.
Because while movies when Grease originally came out, cast old people.
Yes.
Movies now cast young people.
Yes.
Which is a conversation I'm having with one of my writing partners. Doesn't matter.
Interesting.
But I just thought he would be kind of like a good kind of follower. Like, yeah, totally, whatever you guys want to do, man. Because he's not quite famous enough, like that we might recognize him, but probably won't. It's more just like, yeah, he's good.
Yes. Yeah. I think
he was able to push Ben Stiller around.
Yeah. Well, then perfect. Mine is all cast to keep the spirit of Grease that everyone looks so old. And I even gave myself a little more leeway because people that were 25 in the 70s are what people that are 35 look now.
That's
especially
true.
in Hollywood. So, yes, mine are all going to be old. I'm not saying that's right.
We'll end up with a grab bag of
Absolutely.
both. We already have people who are older than the rest of my cast.
Yes.
With the exception of 2 of them.
Yes. Cool. Okay, so that one, which one was he?
Just all 3 of them.
Oh, he was
I
all
don't
3.
care,
Yes.
Because we don't need 3 of them.
Cool.
They're a single person, just... I don't care.
Okay, well, I've got 4.
Pick one.
Yes, so, let's see. One thing about my casting is that every single one of them, except for the adults, were child stars in the early 2000s.
Interesting.
So they
That's super fun.
will all be old. The list I have Frankie Muniz, Daryl Sabara from Spy Kids, Lil Romeo, Raviv Ullman, known as Ricky Ullman, Phil of the Future, because Disney was like, you can't be named Raviv. Yeah, the past wasn't great. I'm going to go with...
Raviv Ullman?
Yes. Yeah, they didn't let him have that name.
So they had to make his name Ricky.
Yes. And then he...
Because he's Israeli.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, so that was cool of them. What do you do with Lil Romeo? He was on Dancing with the Stars at one point. He's up for something. He'll come back.
Can he act?
I bet. Okay, fine. I'll go with Daryl Sabara.
What's Daryl Sabaro done?
He was a Spy Kid.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
How'd that go?
So good. Watching the first Spy Kids, I really thought, oh, this is auteur filmmaking. Because it's so specific. And then the second one, I was like, this isn't as good as I thought. But the first one's great.
I'd be willing to go back and rewatch it. That's a good future episode.
Yeah, I think, that'd be a really good one.
Sometimes I look at this and I'm like, oh, yeah, no, all the things you said, but I'm going to put that knowledge somewhere else.
Yes, yeah. I think in picking just one version of this, neither of us are wrong, but you're closer to right.
Raviv Ullman
Yes.
kind of stopped working in 2013.
Yeah, so he probably won't come back for this.
When did Lil Romeo stop working?
Well, again, Dancing with the Stars, but that might have been in like 2011.
He now goes by Romeo Miller.
Big Romeo.
I mean, he's 30.
Yeah.
Can't really be Lil Romeo. Oh, no, he's still doing stuff.
There you go.
He's an actor and writer on King of the South, which... Oh, no. That's not good.
Uh-oh.
There's a show coming out, or is out, called Queen of the South.
Oh.
So, and he's an executive producer on something called God is Real.
Oh. Okay.
Um...
We'll go with the Spy Kid.
I mean, I'm still leaning more towards Brandon Suhu.
Yeah, no, that's fair. For mine, I'll take that one for yours. But yes, you are more right.
I'm going to go with Brandon Suhu.
Great.
So next we go, I've got Rizzo.
Yes.
So Rizzo is the only person where I allowed myself to cast someone from Pitch Perfect.
Okay.
Because Pitch Perfect basically is already the spiritual successor to Grease.
Sure.
You very easily could just see a version of Grease where it's just the women in Pitch Perfect are now the Pink Ladies.
Sure.
And what was their band called? The Dudes. Doesn't matter.
Sure.
The dudes being the greasers. It's a really easy 1-to-1. So
Yes.
I like, because it would have been very easy to cast like now I can't think of any of their names. Fat Amy.
Oh. Rebel Wilson?
Rebel Wilson, thank you.
I haven't seen
To
Pitch
cast
Perfect.
Rebel Wilson as Jan, I'm like, that would have been great, because
Sure.
that's the joke they're making, and I'm not going to be that guy.
Yeah.
And so I limited it to this one because this is the person who like has a singing career.
Sure, that helps.
And is a young person who is also like a good actor and can sing and dance. Haley
Yeah.
Steinfeld.
Of course. Yeah, that's a good one.
For Rizzo, that kind of makes sense.
Absolutely.
You need kind of like that whole like smirk,
Yes.
and she plays young.
Yes. Yeah, that would be very good. On the other hand, so in Grease, I think Stockard Channing was 33. So she was the oldest
man.
one. Yes, playing a high schooler.
Yeah, clearly she was the oldest one.
Yes.
Nonetheless, go on.
Raven Simone.
No!
But, like, imagine.
Oh, no.
Look, she's currently working. She does sing. She's arguably currently on The Masked Singer, depending on who you believe. But, yeah, if under my rules, that is the perfect choice. Under general rules, I don't think we should do that.
Under your rules,
yes.
Again, yes,
nailed it.
great,
Out of the park.
absolutely.
Over the moon.
For sure.
Mm-hmm.
No.
Imagine how mean she'd be.
She'd be so mean because apparently she's just a mean person.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, apparently she's not nice.
Yeah, it's a method.
No. Like, I'm sure there are child actors out there who did not turn it out to be awful human beings.
Sure.
I can't think of any.
Yeah. Zac Efron. Arguably.
Teenage actor.
Okay.
Unless he was... Well, okay. Zac Efron's a good example.
Thank you.
The Captain Marvel's another good example.
Yeah. Brie
Larson.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure there's a third.
Hilary Duff?
Actually, yeah. Hilary Duff's supposed to be very nice.
But now she's getting back into it, so it's probably going to get worse for her.
Well, I mean, she's been on Younger for years.
Oh, that's right. But she's getting back into, like, the same show.
Yeah, like, well... But apparently Younger's still going.
Oh.
And they're filming the Lizzie McGuire show... Because it's still Lizzie McGuire.
Yeah.
And, like, it's not... like, she's playing the mom and it's a younger Lizzie McGuire. It's still her. just
up.
As an adult. And that concept is hilarious for me. But but they're filming it while, like, during the Younger hiatus.
Cool.
So, like, she's going to be in 2 shows at once, which is great. Good for her.
Yeah.
But the whole concept of going back to Lizzie McGuire, and I kind of want, like, that still cartoon version of her as a teenager to just be pushing around, like, why aren't you making more of yourself? What's wrong with you? What's going on? I want that so badly. And, like, I think that would be super fun.
Yeah, I agree.
So, I'm kind of okay with it.
Yeah.
If they were remaking it and, like, kind of doing a Girl Meets World type situation, fine, whatever, I get it. It's a good concept.
Yeah.
But they're not,
no,
and that's hilarious.
Struggling in her 30s. Yeah, that's cool.
So let's talk about Kaneki.
Yes.
I'll let you go first for this one. Who do you have for Kaneki?
I played around with several people. I did think that because if I had Cole Sprouse, I would need someone that A, likes to sing more, and B, is more relevant, or like, not more relevant, but like is actively a singer. What I wrote down was any Jonas brother. And I think if it was the main one that people liked, which I think is Nick Jonas.
Which is the one that's been acting.
I think that's him. Which would be good, but would he overshadow the Danny Zuko?
I don't think so.
Okay, good. Then Nick Jonas.
I think Nick Jonas is actually really good casting for this.
Thank you.
I'm perfectly happy going with Nick Jonas. Yeah, because he was the one that was in Jumanji.
Yes. And
was great.
I heard he was.
I liked that movie. I thought it was fun.
Yeah, no, I want to see it. I just haven't.
Fair.
I believe it's great.
Yeah.
I think it's the best movie in the world.
You what?
I'll go as far to say I think it's the best movie in the world.
I mean, you're not wrong.
Great. After first Jumanji.
Yes. The actor that I have is in To All the Boys I've Loved Before, and he's going to be He-Man in the upcoming He-Man show. It's,
wait, can I guess his name?
Yes.
I'm all around it. His last name is more interesting than his first name. What is it?
I'll give you a hint.
Great.
All of the animals, but only 2 of them. 2 of each.
Noah Centineo?
Very good. Noah Centineo. Well done.
Cool.
So that's who I had. I think Nick Jonas is probably a better get because I don't think Noah Centineo sings.
Yeah.
And we know Nick Jonas can dance, so I'd rather go with Nick Jonas. But Noah Centineo, I just was like, oh.
Yeah, no, that's also
I don't
a good
know
pick.
who this dude is.
Absolutely.
Sure.
Yeah.
The last of kind of the really well-known, memorable ones is Frenchie.
Yes.
That's how I got my nickname Frenchie. Sure it is.
Yeah. Yeah. Take that. Do you want to go first?
Sure. So I cast... I think I had originally cast Elle Fanning, and I was like, no.
Okay, yeah.
Because I was like, I need someone who's kind of sweet, just generally nice. Because that's the thing about Frenchie. She's sweet, but dim.
She's doing her best. Yeah. But
And so Elle Fanning kind of is good casting for that, but I was like, you know what? It's kind of a more modern interpretation. I'd like someone who is sweet, but with a little bit more of an edge. So I cast Kiernan Shipka.
Oh, yeah,
Who's the new Sabrina.
Yeah, I have Kiernan Shipka written down. under Sandy, but she is simply too young, is what I wrote down. Because, it has to... Mine are old people, so yeah.
Right, correct.
But yeah, that'd be great. Yeah. For Mad Men, come on.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sally.
That one lady.
Sabrina.
Who'd you have for Frenchie?
Amanda Bynes. Because Amanda Bynes, famously, is getting back into acting. Because she's doing better now. Which is really good. If you read the Paper Magazine article, which I cannot recommend enough.
I haven't.
She's doing well.
My understanding is that she was diagnosed with schizophrenia.
It was... I don't know if it was quite that. I don't know. But whatever... Like, all the stuff with the tweets, she was like, that was a mistake and whatever. She was just having manic episodes.
What did she tweet?
She tweeted a lot of things. I don't remember why they were bad, but, like, they were, upsetting. But not, like, racist, I don't think. So that's something. And if I was going to put her in Grease 2000, I wouldn't want to, force her back into a main role. So she can be Frenchie. That's enough. She doesn't even sing in her main song. But go on.
Amanda Bynes is 33.
Great. Perfect. Let's see.
Because I feel like casting Amanda Bynes would be very similar to casting Lindsay Lohan.
Yes.
At that point,
I am also on board for.
Absolutely not.
Yeah. I don't have to get into about my thing with Lindsay Lohan, but I think eventually she's going to come back. She was so talented in Parent Trap.
Yeah.
She played 2 people.
Yes.
Remember?
She has had 2 really good movies.
Yeah. Freaky Friday. Is that one of them?
No.
Then 3.
Parent Trap, Freaky Friday, and Mean Girls. What are the other Lindsay Lohan mainstays?
Herbie Fully Loaded. Cannot attest to the quality of. Adventures of a Teenage Drama Queen, which doesn't make sense as a movie, but she's good in it. Yeah, no, I'm not pushing for that. Because I
feel like you'd be casting Amanda Bynes more for the headlines of Amanda Bynes is back.
Look, all I'm saying, read the Paper Magazine article. She's doing much better, and I just mean this in your own time, just to, have a temperature read on Amanda Bynes. But, yeah, she doesn't have to be in this.
All right, I'm pulling up the article, and I will definitely read it later.
Great.
Unless we want to take like a 15-minute break while I read this article.
Yeah, check back with that later.
The article begins, can you put Post Malone back on? Amanda Bynes asks in a way that is both confidently decisive and exceedingly polite.
There you go. She's doing great. I've never been those 2 things at once.
Confidently decisive and exceedingly polite.
It's one or the other for me, and I can never pick.
It's so difficult. I am going to read this article.
It's great. Let's see. For other pink ladies, I just have other people I remember being in TV shows. Miranda Cosgrove, Allie or AJ. Cheetah Girls are acceptable. Yeah, so we'll go with Kiernan.
So then I have 5 more people.
Okay.
I have Jan and Marty, like, individually, because I think the pink ladies are important. I've got Craterface. I've got, like, Dance Lady, the one who's like, well, I'm the best dancer in whatever the town is.
Cha-Cha.
And her name was Cha-Cha?
Her name was, she called herself Cha-Cha.
That's a terrible name.
Yeah.
And then I have some sort of authority figure.
Yes.
I don't care who.
Sure.
One of them.
Sure.
This movie's not about the authority figures.
No. It's not unlike Peanuts, where what they're saying is, wah, 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 wah.
So then let's talk about Jan, which was the food one.
Sure. T-Birds and Pink Ladies, I have grab bag wise. They are, again, Miranda Cosgrove, Allie or AJ, and all other Cheetah Girls. So, what did you have?
So, Jan, the food one, the one who's a little bit crazy, but still good.
Very manic.
Millie Bobby Brown.
Oh, yeah. Okay, yeah.
Because
that could be fun.
She can do the little bit, like, it's a different kind of crazy. Because here's the thing.
Sure.
I don't know if you saw the new Godzilla movie.
I did.
She's good in it.
She is.
She should not be there.
No. No one should.
No.
Least of all Godzilla. He's too good for that.
It should just be the 2 monsters.
Yes.
And whatever the whole crazy family dynamic thing they had going on had no place in a Godzilla movie.
So much.
So, honestly, just cool. She did fine. Should not have been there.
Yes.
But, like, she can do other stuff, and I think she's good. So, I don't know. That's why I thought she'd be fun.
No, that'd be great.
Who's your, like, this is one where someone like Amanda Bynes would kind of fit a little bit more. Someone who, like, you have
Amanda
that
Bynes.
Little bit of crazy.
Sure.
Like, and casting a former child star kind of works for me because you want someone who has that little bit of insanity to them, but while also, being able to act.
Okay. Miley Cyrus.
Good. Sold.
Nice.
Yeah, that totally works for me.
Okay, cool.
Then let's talk about Marty.
Okay. Yes.
Oh, yeah, sorry, go ahead.
No, I Yeah, I've read all of... I don't have specific ones for any specific T-Birds or Pink Ladies, which would have made more sense. But what's yours?
My Marty is Amandla Stenberg. She's in Euphoria, she's in Sleepy Hollow, and a bunch of other stuff, but I first saw her when she was Rue in The Hunger Games.
Okay, yeah.
So
she was good.
She's obviously a very good actress. She was also a young child star.
I really believe that she was dead.
I know.
Yeah.
Really pulled it together.
She didn't open her eyes or anything.
And I don't know. I just think she can be tough, and I think she can be competent, and I think she is a good actress.
Great.
And so I thought she'd be a good young person.
Push it down.
Well, done. Happening.
Excellent.
So then let's talk about Craterface.
Okay. Yes.
Craterface.
Yes, please.
You're gonna like who I have for Craterface.
Oh, good. I'm excited now.
Because I want someone who's got a little bit of an edge.
Okay.
And who also we kind of want to hate.
Yes.
So it just makes sense for me to cast Harry Styles.
Yes. That's correct. I had him on a list, not even for anything specific.
You just have a list.
I have a list.
He's on it.
Yes. Yeah.
Unrelated to this episode.
Don't worry about the list.
There's a list.
It's a good list. Yeah, I think that would be good.
I also think it would be funny to have Harry Styles and Nick Jonas in the same movie.
That'd be cool. Yeah.
And they're enemies.
Yes. Oh, they hate each other.
They hate each other so much.
Yeah, I agree with that. Which
is part of why I was so excited to cast Nick Jonas, because it's so dumb and clever, but I love it.
I didn't write down a Craterface because I didn't know his real name, which I guess he never gets one.
I don't think he needs one.
No. Carfreen shoots fire. That's awesome.
Yeah.
It's enough.
So then we've got Cha-Cha.
Yes.
Real smooth.
Yes. Whoa, that's what they do at the dance. The dance is maybe played by I wrote this down. At the dance, in addition to having MTV there, the band is a Blink-182 cover band called Wink 174. That's important to me.
Love it. Happening.
Who is your Cha-Cha?
So this one was harder for me to find, especially because arguably Cha-Cha is the only person of color in this entire movie, and I'm not even sure she was a person of color.
Yeah, that's classic 70s.
But I found a woman named Carmen Corral.
Okay.
She was in something called Revolution. She's in Walkout. She is an actual singer, dancer, choreographer from Chicago.
Okay.
And it talks about how she's very well regarded and very good.
Sure.
So I wanted someone who can dance circles around all of these child stars.
Yes. Yeah.
They can do TV dancing, but she's good.
Yes. It's clearly better. Yeah, okay. I like that.
So that was the deep dive, find research, do a thing.
Yes.
But I'm open to other people for that.
No, I think that is better than anything I have, which I'm realizing is nothing. In forgetting Craterface, I also forgot Cha-Cha. There's a lot of characters in this movie.
Cha-Cha was played by Annette Charles, who is best known for Grease, The Bionic Woman, and In Search of Historic Jesus.
Oh, okay.
And tragically, she died in 2011.
Oh, God. Okay.
I think Craterface, his character name is Leo.
Okay. Unclear. In the film.
Because he also is in Grease, too.
Yes.
And so he passed away in 1994.
He did.
It is Dennis Stewart playing the character Leo as Dennis C. Stewart.
Okay. Yeah, gotta get that C in there.
And he is in Grease, Grease 2, and in 1985, Moonlighting.
Oh, okay. Yeah, all correct for the time.
Yeah. Been a woman of color? I'm not sure. Still can't tell.
Really good that we don't know. That's how you know a movie was made well and from the 70s.
Yeah, so then I have some sort of authority figure.
Sure.
Which needs to be the one person who's actually old to make everyone else look young. So I cast Olivia Newton-John.
I also did.
Oh.
But here's the thing.
Okay.
The principal is Olivia Newton-John. Blanche, her assistant, is John Travolta in Hairspray drag. The same exact costume that they found. It can't be a new one. And it is not a good idea, which is why it's perfect for John Travolta.
You're not wrong.
Thank you.
John Travolta, star of Gaudy.
Yes. Stockard Channing.
Who?
Stockard Channing.
I don't know who that is.
From Grace Rizzo.
Oh, she was risen.
Yes.
I don't know. Is she still alive?
I was just wondering that.
Let's find out.
Because it could be her as the assistant.
That would be funny.
Right?
She's still alive.
Oh,
Great.
good.
Stockard Channing is the assistant.
Excellent. So for the coach, I just wrote down Fergie. I don't stand by that. It's just something I wrote.
I was gonna ask you, like, I don't have anyone for the coach, but theoretically we've given enough time to how much we love the coach. That do you just have like a comedy idol that you really like? Like whose comedy stylings do you aspire to?
Maya Rudolph?
I'd be down for
I think
that.
she'd be funny as a coach.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is that who you want?
Yeah.
Cool.
Sorry, Fergie. Maybe next time. I also have a Vince Fontaine.
Who?
That's the
Oh, the MTV host.
Yes. I think he'd be a VJ named Vinny Fon, and I have it written down as Justin Timberlake.
Great.
He's in the Backstreet Boys.
Yeah, great. Love it.
Great.
So that brings us to writer and director.
Okay.
Did you have a separate writer-director, or did you have a writer-director?
Apart from me, I think...
Fair.
Yes. I have just The Lonely Island.
As the both writers and directors?
Yes.
I got nothing against that.
Okay. What do you have?
It's sillier than I thought.
Yeah, it would... If I was using as many child stars as I have here, it would need to be funny.
Like, if you have that many child stars,
Yeah.
and then written and directed by The Lonely Island, you are making the greatest clusterfuck that Hollywood can ever or will ever know.
It'd be so great. Yeah. But open to other ones.
It would be a movie that everyone would have to go see because they will have been hearing stories about it for 2 years.
Yes. Yeah. All the stuff that happened
it
on
would
set.
be an immediate success because of how insane everything leading to the production was.
Yes.
And there's nothing wrong with that.
I know. Great.
However,
please.
I have a separate writer and a director. So my writer is the writer of Love Actually, Pirate Radio, Yesterday, and most recently he's going to be doing the new Little Mermaid.
Oh, okay.
So he does adaptations, but he also definitely has a love of music and love stories.
Yeah. Okay.
And he also is a big fan of like writing about musical things that happened in the past.
Yeah.
And so that's kind of why I pulled Richard Curtis.
Okay, yeah, I like that. I was trying to figure out a way to get the star of Yesterday in here, but then I ended up just doing the child star thing.
Yeah,
it's so great.
I need to see Yesterday. It's like so close to the top of my list of movies I need to see, and it just keeps not happening.
It's so fun, and it doesn't make sense.
No, not at all.
Even what it is, like, it's not the genre I thought it was entirely.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
I feel like it's one of those movies that I feel like I need to see.
Yeah, that's
just
great.
Because but I feel like it's another movie I can't watch alone.
Yeah.
Like I need to be able to say,
to share.
What is happening? Like,
yes.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, I'd recommend that.
And then for my director, this woman, because I feel like I needed to not be male gazy, but so she wrote and directed Nick and Nora's Infinite Playlist.
Okay.
She was the director, and I think maybe the writer for Seeking a Friend for the End of the World.
Okay.
And most recently, she did Hustlers.
Oh, okay.
But I think she just directed Hustlers.
Okay.
Her name is Lorene Scafaria.
Sure.
And so she can do dance stuff, she can do music stuff, and, stuff that's quirky and fun.
Yeah.
So that's why I pulled her.
Great. I
cool.
agree.
All right.
Great.
And that's our list. Let me take you through Grease 2000.
Please.
Which, I make that joke a lot for like, oh, we're doing a remake. It's Goonies 2000.
Yes.
It's The Last Starfighter 2000.
Yes.
This is one where it's real.
It has to be Grease 2000.
Grease 2000.
Yes.
Sandy will be played by Jamie Lynn Spears. Danny will be Cole Sprouse.
And Dylan Sprouse in one scene.
But we won't tell you which scene.
No,
you have to figure it out.
Honestly, you'll know.
Oh, all right. Fair enough. It'll be Dylan Sprouse in the reflection in the water in the song we
She'll be like, oh, who's that?
Well, it's the Mirror World version.
Exactly.
He has to get out.
That's what Grease 2001 is about.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Duty, Sony, and Putsy, who we're calling Ponzi, is going to be played by Brandon Suhu. Rizzo's going to be Haley Steinfeld. Kaniki is Nick Jonas. Frenchie is Kiernan Shipka. Jan is going to be Miley Cyrus. Marty is Amanda Stenberg. Craterface is Harry Styles. Cha-Cha is Carmen Corral. Frankie Avalon is the Crazy Frog with backup dancer The Hamsters.
Yeah.
Our band playing at the dance with their version of the radio song, which is a song that I still have memorized.
Good.
Unlike any of the other songs in Grease, that's a song I have memorized. Is going to be the band Wink 174, a Blink 182 cover band.
Of course.
Vince Fontaine, or in our version, Vinnie Fawn, is going to be Justin Timberlake.
Yeah.
The principal is going to be Olivia Newton-John, with Stalker Channing as her assistant.
Blanche.
And Blanche,
Yeah.
thank you,
Absolutely.
is going to be Stalker Channing. And then the coach will be Maya Rudolph.
Cool.
All of this will be written, obviously, by you, Brad.
Of course.
With help from Richard Curtis.
Yes.
And then
When
it will
I feel
be...
like it.
When you feel like it. When the studio demands it.
Yes. And they will.
Yes, that's how studios work. Yes. And all this will be directed by Lorene Scafaria.
Great.
So yeah.
Great. I'll see it. I would love to see that movie.
Great.
I cannot say how much.
Well, thank you for helping make this.
Oh, I am absolutely thrilled to have. I just want to make sure I don't have anything else written down, because I have so much written down that my computer did die. Last thing, instead of flying away in a car, they do a at the end, they do a kickflip over the moon. And
great.
I did write down sample lyrics for Summer Nights, which is, tell me more, did you chat her on AIM? Tell me more, what's her Neopet's name?
That's really good.
Thank you so much. Tell me more, was your dial-up slow? Tell me more, did you LMAO? So that would have to
so
be
good.
And that Richard Spencer, whatever was his name, cannot change that. Curtis?
Richard Curtis.
Yes.
And I completely agree. That's brilliant.
Cool.
So in the vein of tell me more.
Yes.
What would you like to promote? What would you like people to follow you on?
Segue.
Thank you.
I have a podcast, as I said, called Bargery Buffet the Cruise Detective. It was just nominated for 5 Audioverse Awards for fiction podcasts. Listen to my podcast until you like it, and then vote for it before the end of the month would be great. I also have a different podcast with my friends called Popcorn Restaurant, where we review movie theaters around the Los Angeles area. And no one has done a movie theater review podcast yet, which is crazy.
That is crazy.
So you have to do it.
Which is the movie? Which is the hidden gem movie theater that we need to listen to? We need to listen to the episode of.
Yes, the Arena Cine Lounge is a movie theater so small that it plays only indie movies, and it's so specific that it only plays bad indie movies almost exclusively without meaning to. And one of the most recent ones it was playing, that was the only one there I had heard about, was The Fanatic, starring John Travolta. And it's so, small that there's almost no one ever there. It feels like a screening room. You can talk the whole time and see the worst movie you've ever seen in theaters.
And you know what's especially interesting about the Arena Cine Lounge?
Please.
The reason why they do those movies is because there is a rule regarding screenings where movies have to play in theaters for a certain amount of time for them to qualify to be on streaming services.
Yes, that makes sense.
And the reason why I know that is because I was their bookkeeper.
Oh, wow. When we were there, the last screening went late, which I don't even know how that's possible because of the movie theater. But because of that, there was only one person in the screening before us. They said, we'll just cut out the previews and you just start the movie. And I was like, thank you. This is a real movie theater, but it's not. I loved it.
Yeah, I do really like the people who run it, and I think it's a fun movie theater. Yeah. And I think that more independent theaters like that should be promoted.
I agree.
So yeah. Cool.
Hooray.
Good random choice. That worked out great.
That's nuts.
Do you have social media or anything you'd like people to follow?
I'm on Twitter. I'm so funny on Twitter when I feel like it occasionally. It's just my name, @BRAD BEIDEMAN.
Do you want to spell that name?
No, I will. Brad, BRAD, simple. It gets more complicated. Beideman, BEIDEMAN. Same thing for Instagram, but I just post pictures that I drew on Photoshop.
Cool.
Yeah.
If you want to find out more about me, you can follow me on Twitter. I'm @SamGasch, SAMGASCH. If you'd like to follow the podcast, we are @Ideal Remake on both Twitter and Instagram. And you can join us on Facebook at Ideal Remake or Ideal Remake Podcast. Or if you want to be a real champ, if you want a letter in podcasting,
yes,
you can go and leave us a 5-star review and tell all of your friends about the Ideal Remake Podcast because, gosh, that would just be keen.
That'd be really cool.
Brad, thank you so much for being a guest on this podcast.
Thank you for letting me.
And here's how I've been ending episodes recently.
Ooh.
What is your favorite quote from Greece?
My favorite quote from Greece is a hickey from Kaniki is like a Hallmark card.
Hickey from Kaniki, Hallmark card.
Yeah.
Love it.
It's great.